All right, y'all. Your favorite NBA casual who watches like 30% of the season is back for playoff time, making predictions for who's going to win 2026 NBA championship. I'm a little sick while I'm doing this, but yeah, and I don't really have too much input. I think I've watched less basketball this year than I did last year, and this season is at least what I've kept up with has been way more sporadic. It's been way more of like a roller coaster, all things considered, but I'm gonna do my best here. So, and for reference, I'm recording this like 3 hours before the first play-in games happen, just so I can get those in. Either way, won't really matter. But we're gonna start with the East because East is less, still less dense, I guess you could say. But first game, Hornets in the Heat. Hornets obviously going on a tear recently, and I like respect majority of the lineup out there and what they're doing. Uh I don't really have like a major preference. I'll still take the Heat. It's literally 50-50 in my eyes. Uh I don't really see like a major difference in either one of them because like I think regardless of who they play, they're gonna lose. Um I'd still probably take the Heat out of that, and then for the other play-in 76ers versus Magic, I didn't realize their records were exactly the same, but I'll probably take the 76ers. I think I heard that they wouldn't be having Embiid, like they would be resting him. And I don't know if that's more of a vote of confidence in the rest of their team, uh, that they can still beat the Magic that way, because the Magic are so wishy-washy. Like I just hear nothing. Like the only discourse I hear about them is just how uh up and down their play is like all year. Especially with their, I think with Paolo, with their franchise guy, and obviously injuries plague them along with a lot of teams this year. Just been weird. Injury story might go to the Celtics actually for being like the biggest one, but we'll kind of see. But I'll still take 76ers in that game. Uh, so that would mean the Magic would end up playing the Heat and screw it. Bam 83, take the Heat. I think I'll just take the yeah, Miami go 8 and Philly go 7 just cuz why not? Um okay. Once we get in the first round, I would take the Pistons over Heat. Obviously, I'll probably just take them in 5. I'll give Miami getting one game at home. No real reason other than just like uh power power ranking a little bit. I know that the Pistons kind of had a bit of a fall off, at least relative to how they started out the season, but still having, the third best record in the league and having one of the more physical teams because they're going with that whole Pistons, the bad boy Pistons mentality thing. I think that's fair, at least to give them that. I know this would be this team, majority of their players, it would be their second time in the playoffs, I think, which I didn't even anticipate them being this good this soon. I really thought it would still be another like 3 years before they would get to this point. But number one in the East, take advantage of the kind of like vacuum of power that happened here. Um, Cavs Raptors. I'll like off of vibes. I'll take the Cavs. I genuinely don't think I've seen one game of the Raptors. I barely understand what their team comp is. So I really don't know how the matchup is supposed to work. Considering that they were like irrelevant, or at least it felt like they were kind of irrelevant about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I'll give like Cavs in 6. I'll still give them like a couple games, and it'll be uh hard fought, obviously, because 4 and 5 seeds. But safe to say, I didn't think that they'd be like up here this quickly. Let me see something, because this is kind of insane to me to think that like Toronto Raptors with Brandon Ingram are like up here, like even getting to the 5. Yeah, here we go. You gonna give me the roster or not? This is an insane picture. Yeah, you got Bi, Scotty Barnes, quickly, who is shorter than I remember him being. It's obviously a lot of young guys. Yeah, RJ Barrett's still out there. Jacoby Walter, Baylor guy, he's still out there. Jakob Pertl, Garrett Temple is out there. Really? Did not know there was a guy named Chucky. Like they're just such a wild card, because like majority of their team is 25 and younger, with the exception of Garrett Temple. Like, and honestly, most of them, they're kind of like the Rockets if they had less injuries, right? Because the Rockets have a similar team with just a bunch of height, a bunch of athletic wings that are supposedly like all around good players, but then they lost their main point guard to run their offense, and then they like hit a stalling point with like Durant. But these guys, I guess, have had less injuries to deal with, if I'm assuming correctly. Um, Even still, it's just like, hey, you guys haven't been this far. At least the Cavs have like a more standard looking team at this point. Like most of those guys have been like deeper into the playoffs than all of y'all combined. So like I'm still gonna take Cavs in 6, but that's still kind of insane. Um Knicks and Hawks. This is a weird one, because after the trade with Young, I did assume the Hawks would make a tiny leap. I think I kind of assumed they'd be like the 5 seed. I did think they would improve though, just because they saw a surge in performance with their guys, and they were like, hey, getting rid of Trae Young will further enhance that, which was fair. Um, and then now they're the 6th seed, and they have like what? I think they got a guy who's supposed to be most improved player this year. I want to say is it Nikhil? I want to say it's Nikhil. Um, and like obviously their roster is overall like pretty well rounded. I forgot that I didn't forget that they had CJ McCollum, but I think when looking at their last game with the Cavs a few days ago, I was like, okay, McCollum, he can still do his thing. Like people gotta give him his respect. They're also another young team who like hasn't really made deep runs into the playoffs, and it's just that whole narrative about playoff basketball. And I know that like OKC proved that wrong last year, but I still think it's a decent I still think it's a decent like reference, or like a reasonable train of thought to go off of. But I think they also Buddy Hield even playing? I didn't even see him play in that other game. They also had a lot of injuries like go down. I think it was their bigs that they were having a problem with, so they were playing a lot of small ball. Yeah. And like I'm not even saying the Knicks have like crazy good they're not like a horrible matchup for them necessarily. It's just like the Knicks are the Knicks to me. I don't really know how to gauge them at this point, because I respect the hell out of Jordan Clarkson and Jalen Brunson, I think Mikal Bridges gets iffy for me just because he's such a volume type player. And Cat, I don't even know. He could just have an off night on any given day. They don't have. I don't know if they have a crazy ton of height down low either. Yeah, Mitchell Robinson is just a dog though, so he can pick up that slack. As long as they have the bodies, they're probably fine. So Knicks, Nixon. I'm gonna say Knicks in 5, but I think 2 of those games are gonna be really close. Like it's gonna be one of those last second, like overtime wins that just like the Hawks had it, like they had it at home, but like a late push by like Jalen Brunson being like hella clutch or something like that. After that, Celtics and who did I say? Sixers. Oof. I'll give you. I don't even want to stay on this too long because, like, let's be honest. If the Sixers get here and their plan was we're going to restrict minutes so that we can have Embiid ready for this series, Celtics are going to tear him apart. Like I'm just saying, Joe Mazzulla probably already got a game plan for either one of these teams that could make it out of there, and it doesn't even matter who the Celtics play. However, whatever strategy that he has is going to just burn the hell out of the 7 seed. Like I almost want to say, I know I was giving credit to like the Heat at least getting 1 game on the Pistons just because they're getting their footing right. But this, I don't even think is fair. Like, let's be real. The second we heard that Tatum was going to even be able to play, not even full power, not even 100%. We just said Tatum would play. They're already back in contention. They're already a contender, which is ridiculous. They were still managed to be 56 and 26. I'll still say 5. I'll give you 1 game, but I have no faith. Like, I already have so little faith in Philly purely because of Embiid. And like the track record is that he barely makes it out the second round. No, he never makes it out the second round. And you're matched up with the Celtics in the first? Yeah, you're not getting out of it. Honestly, Philly should want to lose so that they can win this, hopefully, and get matched up with the Pistons. But if you lose this, you're matched up with either the Heat or the Hornets, which I think I almost think you'd want to play the Hornets if you're Philly. I don't really know. Or maybe they. No, maybe they'd want to play the Heat. I think they're just more athletic than the Heat. I don't know. Yeah, when you get into the nuance of like if they even want to be the 7 seed, that messes this up a lot. But yeah, we'll see how that goes later today. Okay. So I would have the Pistons playing the Cavs, and I think this could be closer if they obviously play for the moment. And I want to say it would go to the Pistons. I think they're just going to bring a level of physicality that's going to, wear down the Cavs. So I'll probably say Pistons in 6. I don't know. Cavs have just been one of the. I know that I'm not trying to say that they're like on the same level, right? But in my humble opinion, right, this Cavs roster the past few years has been a pretty big what if, because they have had guys and they have had talent, but a lot of it always falls through the floor because of injuries. And they were trying to make this trade recently with Harden because Garland would like never be playing. And I don't really know if like this necessarily elevated their team chemistry or anything, but I'm not even trying to compare this to like KD, Harden, Irving in Brooklyn, right? But that was another one of like, hey, if these guys weren't injured, they're winning a chip, right? Year before, 2 years ago, like Cavs could have made a push, but then Garland gets hurt. Mitchell is like playing excessive minutes. And I think even Mobley got hurt or something. Like a lot of their roster just gets hit with like the worst timing with that stuff. And they on paper are one of the more well-rounded teams in the league, I think. Yet they never feel like it when you watch them play. So I'll say 6. Yeah, one of them is just going to get like snatched from them, and that's going to be disappointing. I'm only disappointed because I want to see Donovan Mitchell get his respect, which I think they'll give him when you look at his stats, but like it's just not the same. I want the hardware for him. After that, we get Knicks Celtics. Woo, that's gonna be historical. And I'm still kind of using championship bias here. I'll probably still go Celtics. I don't know what it is about just the vibe of the Knicks that I just don't really like. I mean, we've seen it in the past too. Celtics have them like decently figured out. I'll say 7 though. They might have changed a little bit in that, and I hope that their scheme isn't just the same of like, in Brunson we trust and we just leave him on an island all game. Because they're gonna be able to defend him pretty well. They're gonna have like a lot of rotations that can like at least limit what Brunson can do. But if they keep their cool, Knicks can hang in there. This is one of the closer ones, I think, of the matchups in the East. So I'll probably still say 7 games, but I'll take the Celtics in that too. We all knew it was going to get down to the 1 and 2 seed. Like we all know about which are the actual like contenders in the league, and especially in the East, it was only these guys. It was about to be only the Pistons. If I take that back. Celtics still could have been a contender even without Tatum here, but that's just because of how the East kind of is. It low key is like a it always feels kind of like a culling type of deal with the East of always just like, oh, we gotta get rid of them so that we get the top 2 guys here, and then we'll see like how they actually match up. And I think that like Detroit, Boston for the Eastern Finals, I think that like I don't even know. I think this would also go 7 games, but I can't really like wrap my head around who would actually have the advantage in their like matchups, I think the Celtics have a slightly deeper bench, and I've always talked about the Pistons like physicality. I don't know, that might come down to the coaching as well, and I kind of want to say Celtics. I might just be repeating what I did the last time I made one of these. I'll just say Celtics in 7. Why not? Like, hey, no disrespect. No disrespect to the Pistons, but like you're just not there. Like it's so close and you got all the right pieces, and maybe it's the whole recency of just decline in performance. Maybe y'all are just saving it up for the playoffs. I don't know, but we haven't seen y'all run it this far yet. I'm going with the playoff basketball narrative. we'll see how it goes. But hey, I still got the Celtics claiming the East, which is insane after, you know, the type of year, the way that their last season ended and the type of year that they've had. It's, I don't know, but I don't know. Shifting to the West, play-in games, Clippers, Warriors. This is weird because Curry only just came back like a week before this. They somehow still made the 10 seed. And I have no idea what they're trying to do as a franchise. So honestly, they shouldn't even, I don't know, because I think I could be totally wrong. I think they're not even playing Curry, which, if you ask me, what? Because like, if you're actually playing Curry, even if it's not at 100%, I think you could potentially scale them up to like out of the 10 seed and being like 7, maybe even 6, just because Curry like still is that much of a game changer when he steps on the court. However, if you're not trying to win so you can get draft picks, so you can do trades and stuff, understandable. But if you kind of push this whole thing on the media to be like, hey, we got Curry back and we're right back in here, you know we are about it, but then you're not going to play him in the play-in game with a team that has a much more well-rounded roster than you, you're not winning. Like, it's just like, I know that the record doesn't show, but I think that they have a much better team than you, and I really don't think that's a good idea. So I'll say Clippers, and I honestly want them to prove me wrong. I really don't care. I don't care which one comes out of here, but it just seems so hypocritical in that sense, really contradictory. Going here, I'm honestly surprised the Trailblazers made the 8 seed, but I won't take them over the Suns, and it's not really any real reason. It's just history. I just don't see it. Then this game would be Clippers and Warriors. Nope. Wow. Clippers and Trailblazers, and I will still take Clippers. This is where the whole Hornets debate comes back into it with like playoff experience. A lot of young guys on the team, a team that I don't even think makes a lot of freaking sense. I've only seen a couple games out of them, which is kind of shocking to say. I cannot believe in 2026 I've actually seen the Portland Trailblazers play. With their main guy Damian Lillard not even playing, by the way, still winning a 3-point contest while being hurt. Fucking stupid. Yeah, I just don't. Oh, right. Drew Holiday did end up over there. Like their main guy is Denny, and a lot of their other guys, Klingon, I know has made a leap. I have heard that. But a lot of the other guys, decent role players, but I still haven't like, you know, I don't know if they've like really come together as a team overall, and like they're just young. I just don't think they're ready for that. So that would make Clippers the 8, Suns the 7. Okay. I don't even think we really need to talk about it. Thunder versus Blazers. Done. You might beat them in 4. I'll say 5 for competitors' sake, but y'all are done. And I'm gonna jump there too. Spurs and Suns. Done. Out of there. Don't even talk to me, man. It's not even close. And because no shade to majority of the guys out there because I think I've talked with this about that's not words. I've talked with a couple people about like the Suns and especially the Rockets. Um it's the whole thing. That whole trade was so weird to me because I really thought that the Rockets weren't going to get rid of Jalen Green. So when I realized that he was over here, I was like, okay, that's a good reason for why that they're playing better this year. Oh yeah, they still got Devin Booker who's doing his thing. They got I didn't know that Ryan Dunn was over there. Um Grayson Allen still doing his thing, Gillespie, I didn't even realize they picked up Mark Williams. But I'm like, I still have just weird feelings about Dylan Brooks, and I just see the way he be yapping all the damn time, and I get sick of it. He literally got embarrassed by Kevin Durant again. Like he yapped to LeBron, got embarrassed immediately. He yapped to KD, not even 3 seconds later. Dude, like, are we dead at not even 3 seconds later? Down on the ground. Like what like why does he keep talking? Like he needs to always be talking to like play or try to meet their level, and then he still doesn't. Like I don't get what kind of the fact that like his stupid ass can't just like keep his mouth shut and try to like actually perform pisses me off. Like I want to see I want to see freaking him try to like talk all the way up to Wemby, and then Wemby literally just does like a slow ass Euro step, like staring down at him and just like all on the top of his head. Like it's fucking insane to me. But yeah, those two series not even close. Now, because my dad is a lifetime Rockets fan, I've watched way more of the Rockets games than maybe anybody else, either the Rockets or the Spurs. I've definitely seen a few of these Rockets Lakers matchups, and technically the Lakers should have the edge. However, with all of those injuries recently, it doesn't look good for them. But also the way that the Rockets play and keep selling in the second half doesn't look good for them either. Was it? Oh man, no, that wasn't right. I think they said Luka got hurt. I want to say Luka got hurt. I could be completely wrong. If it's Luka that got hurt, or if it's Luka and LeBron that got hurt, then Lakers they're done. Like they're legit not doing anything. Their entire plan was hinging on LeBron, Luka, and Reeves, which by the way, don't even play their best basketball when they're all three on the floor. And if you're getting rid of potentially two of them, they're not playing. Even with the Rockets the way that they are, they're not beating them. So we'll say Rockets in six, and we'll say Reeves got him a couple. Okay. This is becoming a weird rivalry. They've matched up a lot now, and it never goes well for the Timberwolves. And I've been hearing discourse around their team drama, so I'm leaning toward a no for them. I want to give them more credit, but if they're kind of, you know, recuperating and still kind of shifting things, I don't think that that's going to bode well against a nearly identical championship roster that the Nuggets still have, and guys are way closer to 100%. So that's really unfortunate. So I'm gonna say Nuggets in 5. I don't want to say like Ant can't do it, but like I think he needs another year before he's like legitimately Ant-Man superhero level and he can like carry the team. He might have had a better team 2 years ago. Maybe. You get Thunder versus the Rockets.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
That's like not even. It's just not. No, dog. Just no. I don't even. Just no. Y'all gotta pray. Y'all gotta pray that heaven smites that roster that y'all can't handle it. 5 games. Don't care. 5. Nuggets versus Spurs is good. This would probably be. This could potentially be like a top 3 series in the playoffs, maybe even 2. Having like 2 bigs duke it out like this, a guy who can, control the game insanely well and stay one step ahead of most people, and a guy who can just do seemingly everything, whether it's for 20 minutes or not. And they both have deep rosters. It's just that the Nuggets have the experience edge. I really want to do the Spurs glaze right now and just say, hey, Thunder did it last year with all that defense, all that athleticism, all that energy. Why can't the Spurs? And really, it's because they're playing the Nuggets. Like, they're like a assassin the way they've been going. They've just been lying in wait, just waiting, and it is low key kind of scary. I think this goes 7. There's just too many. I'm honestly low key very excited for that matchup if that happens. Oh man. I'll take Spurs in 7. Dude, I don't know. That feels like such a hard matchup to do. I feel like that either be Nuggets winning in 6 or Spurs winning in 7. I don't know how to do that one. That's tough. Like the whole year I've been projecting Thunder and Spurs in the Western Finals. But like that is if they play the way that they always do in the playoffs, that's so tough, man. Dang. Okay, fine. I'll go with that. This still might be. I don't even know if this would be even harder to do, because if we're talking Spurs Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, every matchup we have seen, Spurs have bodied. I'm pretty sure it was Spurs were almost always beating the Thunder. The Thunder were beating the Pistons. And the Spurs were also beating the Pistons more often than not, I think. So technically that should be, power ranking wise, that should literally be Spurs, Thunder, Detroit. If we're going super rudimentary like that. But if we're really talking the 7-game series, that does make things interesting. I almost think it completely depends on their bigs, because I don't think Wemby will play like excessive minutes. Obviously, they haven't needed to when they play them, but I don't know, when you have the constant matchups and the constantly shifting game plans, I have a feeling they'll maybe have something, but they need like somebody like Chet to like actually do something, bro. You cannot just be getting literally dumpstered. Like you were supposed to be the rival matchup with Wemby, and like you look like you can't. It doesn't even have to be against Wemby. You match up against Luke Cornett. You look like a literal wacky inflatable tube man. Look helpless out there. pisses me off, man. I kind of want to do the I kind of want to stay with it, but like, because I do like both of these teams a lot. I almost wish they were in separate conferences so that they can match up as the championship. This almost paralleling March Madness a little bit because women's March Madness. So they said the game between UCLA and Texas was the real like championship game because that was the two best teams in the country, which is a similar thing here. You could always make the argument about Detroit actually being like better, but like, come on, man. I was about to just make the whole thing about the Nuggets potentially beating the second best team in the damn league. So I don't know. 7-game series, gotta be. Do we see a dynasty form, or do we see it fall to the French alien? And dude, this is my story I'm writing. I want to see Wemby do it. I want to see it. I want to see Spurs take them down 7 games. It'll be the new biggest. It won't even be an East versus West thing for the next 5 years. It's just going to be West versus West, Thunder versus Spurs. I want it. I really want this new rivalry to like stick. And I really want to see the Spurs do it. It's not even out of hate for any reason. It's not like a fraud watch for anyone on the Thunder except for maybe Chet. Like, it's purely just because it would be insane to see, because they were all talking about, is this the new biggest dynasty? Because they're all so young on the Thunder, and their defense is insane. You can win championships with defense. But obviously we've seen it too. The crazy kind of the fast-paced offense that the Pacers threw them for a loop a couple times and pushed it to 7 games. And then you had the injury happen, which shifted everybody's energy and play style. And I still kind of believe that the Thunder would have won that game, but we saw them get pushed onto the ropes a little bit. And I feel like the Spurs could do it. They're also a hella young team, a little younger, but they got this quickness. They got this crazy defensive level of play. And I know it's mostly Wemby's offense, but it's not like Rocket's bad. It doesn't completely go stale when he's not on the floor. And I want to see it. I'll take Spurs in 7. Why not? I think a lot of people were going to say it was going to be Thunder and Celtics about a month ago, which was fair, but not in my canon event. I end with Spurs versus Celtics for the 2026 NBA championship. Who do I genuinely think would win this series? Oh, man. I'll take Celtics. Oh, wait, hold on. No, wait, that's not at all. That's not at all. That is not at all what I was thinking in my head. And then I just saw green and was like, yeah, that makes no. That was so dumb. That was so dumb. I meant to say Spurs. I fully meant to say Spurs. That was so, oh my God. That was so stupid. Yeah, okay. Fully meant to say Spurs. I'm just thinking, I don't know. They've just been such an enigma this whole year, and it's really because of Wemby. And I don't know. It just could be one of those things that has taken the league by storm. No one has really figured out how to adjust to it and how to really handle it. Like, even if we're talking about, oh, if he brings the ball down, we're gonna strip it. Hasn't really worked too much. How are you gonna, like, get him in foul trouble or something? Doesn't work. A lot of the calls go his way. Like, obviously, of any of the teams, Thunder, Celtics, Pistons are gonna be the only ones capable. And I could have been wrong about that Spurs Pistons matchup history from this year, but dude, I see it happening. I don't know. This isn't even like as a biased Spurs fan or like a delusional Wemby Glazer. I don't know what it is, but dude, I see it happening, and I could easily see the Thunder like proving me wrong by just like outshooting the crap out of them. Even the Celtics could do that, could outshoot the crap, but I don't know. Something about that defensive versatility and low-key their drive to win that at least I've seen in a lot of these games. I don't know, man. I think it could happen. I could see the Spurs holding up the trophy this year. So and when it happens, come back to this clip. In that last series, I guess I could say 7 games. I just want to see more basketball, to be honest. But yeah, I could be way off base. Y'all let me know. We're gonna be seeing in literally like it's 4 o'clock by me finishing this up. So we're gonna see in a couple hours with the first playing games, see what it's like. Next couple months, I think, are gonna be insane. It's gonna be one of the weirdest playoffs we've seen in a minute. I think it'll be way less predictable. So hey, it's game time. Let's get it rocking. Nobody said that in years. Let me know you guys' thoughts on my predictions, y'all's thoughts on the playoffs as a whole. Like, subscribe, click the bell, get notified of other uploads that I do. I should be way more consistent on this stuff, but I don't know. Haven't figured that out. So yeah, we'll see how this all goes. Thank you guys for watching, tuning in. Catch you guys in another video.